Tom McNeal, the author of Finalist Far, Far Away, published by Alfred A. Knopf, has written 4 young adult novels with his wife, Laura McNeal. Zipped, their story of a teenage boy who reads his stepmother's email and discovers she's having an affair. That happened to someone I know. Won the Penn Center USA Literary Award for Children's Literature. Far, Far Away is Tom's first solo young adult novel, and in it he weaves together strands of Grimm's fairy tales and fantasy in a small-town American setting. Thank you, Tom.
Really great to be here. Thank you, Sarah. I figured out by process of elimination that the Times reviewed 4 books and did not review the 5th, so I forgive you for not quite getting too far away. It's not too late. The most important character in Far, Far Away is a 14-year-old boy named Jeremy. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah? And when he's 7 or 8 years old, he tells another boy in town that he can hear voices. He says that he hears a strange whispering. And this immediately spreads around the small town. People think that he's too suggestible. People think that maybe he's picking up a distant radio station with a silver tooth filling, but mostly people think that there's something wrong with Jeremy. There's nothing at all wrong with Jeremy. He does hear voices. The book is narrated by the ghost of Jakob Grimm, and Jeremy can hear his voice very well. The bit I'm going to read is the section in which Jakob introduces himself. This cannot be done without glasses. As a mortal man, I was known as Jakob Grimm. Yes, the very one. With my younger brother Wilhelm, I lived once in Germany, in the village of Steinau, in the kingdom of Hesse. Both of us were linguists, but our collection of household tales, fairy tales they are now commonly called, is what you doubtless know. Hold on. Does someone have water other than someone's? I'm sorry. Both of us were linguists, but our collection of household stories, fairy tales they are now commonly called, is what you doubtless know. I have been dead since the Saturday afternoon in September 1863 when I saw the elm tree in the garden dissolve into nothing, and also the window before which I sat, and the wicker chair, and my niece Augusta, who had just inquired what I, lieber uncle, would like for tea. I lay with a dead tongue and a dead right hand. The next day, I stopped breathing. In death, I expected to be greeted by Wilhelm, who had died before me. All of our lives, my brother and I played and studied and worked as one. He was less sturdy than I, and often unwell. I forgave him that. But his was a dreamer's nature, and he was given to wistful song, longings to travel, matters of the heart. The studies, I would say, the studies, the studies, the studies. If he came reluctantly to the work, still he came. We were strapped to the same yoke. Our desks stood side to side. When Wilhelm married, I joined his household. So of course, in death, we would travel together. Was I so foolish to believe that? But here I was, and Wilhelm was not to be found. I set out to look for him. I asked the dead if they had seen my brother, but the dead who remain here are less numerous than you might imagine. 2 here, 1 there, that sort of thing. I met an ancient specter who now inhabited the kitchen space of a grand home where she had served as a maid. She had hollow eyes and a strange smile. I inquired of her, and she asked if my brother had been satisfied with his life. Yes, I said, of course. My brother was a romantic man, and his work, his wife, and his children had met all of his romantic expectations. For all of his days, he had been at ease with his life. Then maybe he has passed on, said the maid. Her hollow eyes stared fully at me. Very few do not pass on. It was she who explained to me that only the troubled remained here in the Zwischenraum, those who are agitated and uneasy, still looking for what this maid and others have called the thing undone. Vengeance, for example, she told me, and then eyeing me slyly, or some other unknown yet unmet desire. It is unique to every ghost, tailored to his own failures, disenchantments, or regrets. The dead maid set her hollow eyes on me. It all depends on you. These phrases, the thing undone, unknown yet unmet desire, have caused me lingering unrest, but allow me now to speak only of the Zwischenraum itself. Examine, if you will, the vibrating space around you, what is between and around your hands and your hearths and your homes. This is where I, or another like me, might be, in the Zwischenraum, the space between. Specters are not, as often imagined, agents of physical change. We cannot move table lamps or cause knockings in walls. There is about us a slight drafting of warm air. Perhaps you have occasionally had one of us pass near you and, feeling a subtle current of warmth, wondered what it was. With effort, we can use this drafting to move a paper, or with greater concentration, perhaps even cause a door to swing closed. But more than that is beyond us. Here is what we can and cannot do in the Zwischenraum. We see, but we cannot touch. We smell, but we cannot taste. We suffer, but cannot weep. We hasten, but cannot fly. We rest, but cannot sleep. We speak, but are not heard. So, and what of Jeremy Johnson Johnson, who heard me? He was one of the exceptionals. Thank you.